Talk to me about your new podcast with Dustin. I feel like there are definitely a lot of Bachelor pods out there, but what made you want to start your own?
Hey, I'm Peter Weber.
And I'm Dustin Kendrick.
You might know us from a small reality TV show that we were on.
Once upon a time, we both filled out applications to find love on national television.
But we had no idea where that journey would take us.
So, I had moved to New York in January of this year. Just it's always been a lifelong dream. Always have loved New York City. And Dustin ended up moving in with me, becoming my roommate. And I really lucked out with that, but it all worked out. And when he moved in, he had brought the idea to me, hey man, we should start a podcast and kind of just talk about two bachelors essentially, moving to the city together and our experiences and all that, and just kind of, unveiling the curtain for, any of our followers to kind of follow our journey along. And I was up for it. I thought it could be a fun idea. And we didn't want to make it obvious, there are a lot of, like you said, a lot of Bachelor podcasts. We didn't want to make it centered around that. We definitely have a little bit where we do talk on it, and we give our, our followers a little taste of that, but mainly it's just kind of following our everyday to day life in New York City and why we love it so much and inspire people to kind of fall in love with the city as well.
That's amazing. So it's not it's not really just recapping The Bachelor. It's actually more of like a peek into your guys' lives in New York.
Yeah, exactly. We it's mainly about following just the adventures, the craziness. Like we're real with everyone. Like we don't hold back, and there's a lot of crazy, stuff that happens, but it's fun, and we're trying to be just as real with people as possible, and I think they appreciate that. But we definitely, we talk a little bit on the show. You have to, and we don't mind it. It did a lot for us, and we're very grateful for the opportunities it gave us.
For sure. So are you digging New York?
I freaking love New York, man. I miss it like crazy right now. I haven't been back in about a month, being there for training in Denver, but it's to me, the most beautiful city in the world. It's truly like, people ask me why I love it so much. It's an adventure, a new adventure every single day, and you don't know what's going to happen. And that I love about it. That magic, that energy is incredible.
Was there also a part of you where you were like, you know what, it'll be also awesome to have a platform so I can address things directly, whether that's, stuff that's going on in your personal life or any related Bachelor news? Like, how much tea are you spilling on this podcast?
Yeah, honestly, I never looked at it as that kind of that benefit of having a podcast. I honestly never even had the thought of having a podcast. It only came to be because of Dustin. But yeah, I guess there have been a couple times where it's offered me a platform to kind of answer things or kind of give my take on a story or whatnot, which I guess has been kind of convenient.
For sure. Obviously I asked because, as you mentioned on your podcast, you addressed comments that your ex had made about your breakup, which kind of prompted her to post a nearly 9-minute YouTube video.
I don't understand, when you end badly with someone, you would think that they would just try to respect you a little bit and just, go their way instead of reaching out to my friends.
Are you surprised based on, the breakup, how it's all starting to play out right now?
I honestly, I have nothing else to say. There will be no, response from me anymore. I said everything I had to say. I feel like it's been beaten to death, but if I don't know why people keep talking about it. I've moved on, and I truly wish nothing but the best for Kelley. And it's tough when you have a relationship, obviously, in the public eye, and people invest in it. And they're gonna have opinions, and they're gonna say things. Again, no one knows the full story except for the two people involved, just like any relationship.
Well, listen, no matter who you are, breakups are really tough. This seemed like a tough one. What would you say is the thing that you're going to take away from that time with Kelley?
I freaking loved my time with Kelley. I truly say to everyone, that was the best relationship I ever had. And just because it didn't work out, and in the end, when you break up, it gets uncomfortable and weird and hurtful and whatnot. But so many things that I took from that, and I learned, and just she it was the first time I think I really felt like she had my back and everything. And we went through so much together. It was so much criticism or whatnot, and just so much that we had to go through together. And it was really I had never really experienced a relationship where you kind of go through the fire with someone together, and the strength that brings you to, and just being able to appreciate how good of a person she is, and how much I could truly feel like she wanted the best for me. I learned a lot about what I want obviously we weren't meant to be, and that's okay. And it is what it is. But I learned truly like what I want in someone and the person that hopefully I get to end up with, for the rest of my life.
And I feel like you really get to know someone and also a relationship in the middle of a pandemic too. Because that was going on. For
sure.
Too. I mean, you guys really did have a lot stacked against you, if you will. But I'm curious, would you ever watch Bachelor in Paradise if Kelley was on it?
No, it'd be very hard to watch. It'd be uncomfortable. I don't want, whether it's right or wrong, I'm someone that I try to distance myself kind of as much as possible, just because at least in that, the months following a breakup, especially when it's public, I don't want to see what they're doing. I don't want to see who they're dating or whatnot. Like, I think anyone kind of feels a little icky, and that, it stings a little bit. It's just, that's natural. I don't even know if she's on, to be honest, on this most recent season that's coming up. Right now, for sure, that'd be very difficult for me to watch. Next year, a little easier, but yeah, that'd be weird.
Are you dating right now? Are you at least open to it?
Man, I have zero time to date right now.
Right.
That's the last, but let me say, I'm looking forward to dating. I really am, like, kind of getting back there. It was a weird kind of like couple months coming to New York and everything with the breakup and having to deal with all these articles about it, and just, it's a weird place. I was in a weird head place. I've now since moved on from that. I'm stoked on life, man. I'm freaking high on life. I got my dream job now, and I'm in training for that right now. And I can't wait to get back to New York and enjoy kind of like the second half of the summer here when I'm done with training. But right now, I have all I can focus on is studying. Like, I will say that I definitely feel like I'm ready to get back out there, and I haven't been able to say that in a very long time. So I'm excited for that.
That it's exciting to hear, actually. But you have been hanging out with Victoria Justice a lot. Is there anything going on there that we need to know about? Do we need to know about something?
No, Vic and I, we go way back. We've been, a lot of people I guess don't know it, but we've been childhood friends, since I was like 12 and she was like 11. Okay. So we've known each other for a while. We've since kind of reconnected in the last couple of years a little bit more. But no, she's just an amazing person, great friend, and yeah, we've had a lot of fun, together, and our families are really close, so that's been good.
Will you marry me?
Oh my God. Yes.
Knowing that you are open to dating and to find love again, would you ever do the show again? Would you ever be the Bachelor if they asked?
No, that is, the experience. It was so many great things, so many tough things to go through. I'll never say I regret it. Like, I'm so grateful for it. The person I am now is so much different than, the man I was coming on the show. And I'm thankful for that. I've grown immensely. But that's kind of, I think for me, just kind of run its course. And not to say like I'm open to dating anyone, but to me, there's an attractive thing in my mind of maybe, a relationship that's not public anymore. Again, who knows? The next person I meet could be in the public eye too, and I'm not opposed to that, but it'd be nice to maybe have it more private.
And do you still believe in that process? Like, is there any advice you would give to a lead signing on to do the show to find love?
For me, I don't think it can work. Just like I realized I needed more time than, 30, at the end of it, it was probably like 30, 35 hours of cumulative time with the person that you're going to end up with. For me, like, that wasn't realistic or like legit. I need more time with someone. I need to actually have like legit real conversations and not kind of like, scripted conversations. But for some people it does work, and it has worked. And it's a great example for love.
But what if you were enticed to travel to Mexico for paradise? Would that be an option? Is that something? Because you could have a good time. It could be fun. Would you be open to doing paradise?
Man, I guess that's the one kind of the one experience with the show I haven't tried yet. Maybe third time's a charm. Maybe that's what I need to do. I don't know.
If you're game, I bet they'd love to have you.
Hey, I'll take a seaplane down there and land on the water, and we'll see. We'll see what happens. You never say never. I don't know.
Your entrance is already planned. I can see it. The opening credits with you flying into Mexico. It's perfect.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, never say never.
Yeah. Well, listen, there's so much to catch up with you on. I do want to move on to Chris Harrison. Have you guys been in touch at all since he stepped away from the franchise?
I've texted him. We've texted a couple times back and forth. I haven't seen him in person. Unfortunately, I really do. I think the world of Chris. Like, I've had nothing but great, memories with him. If anything, I think it's sad. It's sad for kind of all parties involved, and then just to kind of have it end the way it did, with him having been such a prominent role in that franchise, and really, I think, being the biggest reason why it grew to be as big as it has become. It's sad to see,
Do you feel like it was the right move, him walking away?
To be honest, I can't even speak on that for sure. I don't even know if he was the one that walked away or if he was, let go. I don't know.
Did you feel like he should have stayed, or they should have wanted him to be the host of The Bachelor for a couple more seasons?
I do. I think, listen, nobody's perfect. That's an understatement, right? The show is gonna miss him. I think they do. I think ratings, those don't lie. They're kind of already showing that, and it's just, again, it's sad for all parties involved. I know Chris is a good person, and I wish him nothing but the best going forward with whatever he does, but I think the show is going to regret letting him go. I do.
So what did you think of Tayshia and Caitlyn kind of stepping in this season of The Bachelorette as mentors and hosts?
I love them. I've actually not met Caitlyn in person. I've met Tayshia in person. She's such a sweetheart. I've talked with Caitlyn like on Zooms, and I know Jason. So listen, I think they're doing a great job. No one's ever going to replace Chris Harrison. That's obvious. Just you kind of can't when he's been so cemented in that role. But I think what it does offer is a cool, unique twist. It's different. Obviously, kind of like the whole women supporting women type, thing going on there is great. And they're going to be able to offer a perspective that Chris couldn't offer, a female lead, at The Bachelorette. So there's unique taste for sure. It can spice it up a little bit. There's benefits there. And I think they're doing a great job.
Would you ever consider it, hosting the franchise?
Oh man, I don't think I'd have time for that with flying and everything going on. I'd love to, be the official date pilot, flying the cast around on United. Let's charter those flights up. I'll be down for that.
Okay, so you're not trying to say goodbye to the franchise. You'll find ways to be a part of it, huh?
I remember I had this in my interview package when you go for like producer weekend for the show, and I was talking with one of the producers, and we were talking. We're gonna start Bachelor, and I'll be the lead pilot for that. So hey,
oh wow, you're
still
going
an
on
option.
spin-offs now.
Bachelor, yeah.
Obviously, it is really rocky for the franchise right now, but there's also some necessary conversations happening, I feel like, especially when it comes to diversity and inclusion, which I feel like is something that the show has been criticized about for a really long time. And when you were announced as the lead, I felt like the show really drove home the point that you are half Latino. In retrospect, did you feel like that was contrived or maybe inauthentic to you?
No, I am. Like, I'm half Cuban.
Well, right.
It's been like a huge part of my growing up and my heritage, and just what's instilled the values that I've been raised with. They come from a Cuban household, and living at home until 29. Like, that's just such a Cuban thing to do. Like, that's me, and it's it wasn't like pushed or inauthentic at all. But no, you're 100% right. Like, while I say it's sad and everything, with all like this headache essentially that's going on with everything, it's almost necessary. There are parts that are necessary and conversations to be had. And obviously there has been an issue with diversity in the franchise. And I think we've taken some steps, we have, you can't, knock that. And that's a great thing. And we got to keep, using that momentum moving forward. Inclusion is so important with all races on this show, and there's anyone that wants to say anything different about that is just flat out wrong. So I hope that there are more conversations moving forward, and there is more diversity and more minorities in a lead role for sure. That would be great to see.